同学们好.
老师好。
Thank you. It is the 8th of May, class 38, I think. So last week we did Snake Creeps Down. So we'll review Snake Creep Down. We'll review the transition from the last of the shuttles to Snake Creeps Down. And if you remember, some of the key points there with the transition was, the rotate down from the shuttles, and then with Snake Creeps Down, the circular shape of the arms. So we'll do that. We'll practice all that through once we've done a little bit of standing practice. So let us just start with that. So feet shoulder width apart, or a bit wider if you like. Arms, nice circle, and do our posture, head up, shoulders sinking, elbows dropping. Absorb the chest, slightly round the back. Relax the waist. Feel your weight sinking down onto your feet over the boggling well. So feet, you can feel both the balls and the heels. Your toes are resting gently on the floor. They're not gripping, but they're not curled up either. And you're feeling the extension all the way up from the soles of the feet, through the hips, up the spine, and up, your head rising like a balloon. This month we're focusing on shoulders down, elbows down. And one of the things that helps us do is to have a nice relaxed posture in the shoulders and the ribs so that we can breathe more easily. So let's just experiment with that. So first, just observe your breathing. See if you can find a posture that as you breathe in, abdomen expands and then contracts as you breathe out. Now raise your shoulders up. Raise your shoulders up to your ears. Keep them there and see what happens to your breath. It probably tightens up, so drop the shoulders and my breath eases, softens. Everything relaxes a bit more. Now, obviously, the elbows are connected to the shoulders, so that we do both. What I'd like you to do is an experiment here. Keep your palms the same height, but lift your elbows. Just lift your elbows with the palms at the same height and see what happens. And what you may find is that your shoulders go up because your elbows have gone up. And so your breath tightens. So drop the elbows, shoulders come down, and your breath should even out. And that's what we're aiming for in our practice. We'll find this in every movement, so it's not just standing practice, it's also in the movements. What I found, because I'm thinking about it a lot this month, is that even when you're brushing your teeth or drying the dishes or cutting bread, I find sometimes my shoulders are all hunched up. And so just doing ordinary things, I try and practice dropping my shoulders as well. So let's just relax out of that. Drop the arms. Let's do gazing at the moon. So lift the arms up. Looking up a bit. Now press down, breathing out. Get to the bottom, pause for a second, and up again. So this gets our arms moving. And as you rotate your arms, as you lift your arms, keep an eye on your shoulder blades. Try and keep your shoulder blades down, particularly when your hands are high. As your hands are lifting, and perhaps even more when they turn around at the top. Okay, and pause here. We'll finish there. Hands by the side of the thighs. And there we go. Just move around a little bit. So we're going to practice this third section from cross hands. Think about where there are movements that you want to review. We will for sure, and let me know if this in particular is interesting, we will for sure review the transition from shuttles to grassbird's tail and snake reaps down. When you do the form, think about elbows down, shoulders down. One of the places where you can do that is when you're in the shuttles. We do this 4 times. Make sure that your shoulder is down, that your hand being up doesn't mean your shoulder is up as well. Hey Rogelio, great to see you. So let us practice. We're in cross hands at the beginning of the third section. I'll just call the postures without cues. Okay. Embrace tiger, return to the mountain. Roll back. Press. Push. Diagonal single whip. Wild horse parts its mane. 1. 2. 3. 'Grassbird's tail, ward off left. Ward off right. Roll back. Press. Push. Single whip. Fair lady work shuttles. 1. Keep those shoulders down. 2. 3. 4. 'Grassbird's tail, ward off left. Ward off right. Roll back. Press. Push. single whip. Snake creeps down. And stop. Okay. That's as far as we got last week. Anything you'd like to talk about?
Were there supposed to be cloud heads?
Oh, there was supposed to be
before
cloud
that?
hands. Oh yeah, I knew that. That felt too soon. There was supposed to be cloud hands. Thank you, Rogelio. Yeah, good catch. All right, we'll skip the cloud hands for today. Okay. Any questions? Okay, so let's just review. Before I go on, let me just check in. We spent a fair amount of time last week on the shuttles, particularly the stepping, the accommodation stepping for shuttles 2 and 4. How is that going? Is that okay, or should we talk about that again?
That's fine.
That's good. Okay, good. So let's move on. So we'll do the transition. Let's just review the transition from the last shuttle. So if this was the front, you'd be going to the back right corner, and then we're going to do Grassbird's tail ward off left. I am going to change through 90 degrees just so that you can see more clearly. If you want to practice this way, that might help too. So do a right bow stance with your left shoulder to the camera, which probably won't be the way in which you're normally practicing, but then you can see what I'm doing and I can see what you're doing. So we're in a right bow stance. We've done the last shuttle. We're going to do a turn and end up doing the ward off left, with that being the front of the room. So we're from here. Shift back, weight, rotate both arms, drop both arms as you sink your weight down. Now turn the right toe in, sit back, close and step, ward off left. Great. So let's do that again. And I'll just, let me just mention one or two things. So the first one is, notice when you come down, it's with body turning that your arms are coming down. And when the arms come down, you end up in this rollback position. So the left fingertips pointing to the right forearm center, and the right palm is sitting facing away, facing to the corner. So you're in this position. Yep. Then we're going to come around and then close and then lift. And at the end, ward off left. Remember, torso vertical, left arm to the side, right arm down by the hip. Yeah. So Laura, I think your left arm should be pointing to the camera. Nope, your left arm, no, your body's in the right direction. If the front is where the teddy bear is, right? So your left toe, where's your left toe is pointing to that door?
Okay, I can do that.
No. If your left toe is pointing to that door, yep. Then like that, yes. I'm just checking that we're in sync. Yep, very good. So let's just, yeah, you're good.
My foot's supposed to point.
So your foot, you've essentially, what's happening is, if we go back to practicing in the same direction, if that's the front.
Yeah, it should be like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yes. Right. And your left arm is straight towards, and your foot is pointing that way. Correct. And your hands are pointing towards the camera. Yes. Yeah. Yep. And make sure that, and I can't, because of the camera angle, I can't see that. Make sure that the tiger's mouth of your left hand, in other words, the thumb and forefinger, is pointing to the forearm center. Yep, so there's a slight sit movement here. Yep, that's good. Let's do that one more time. I think we're good on this one. So from the last shuttle, shift back weight, rotate both arms. Now, turning the right toe through 90 degrees, sit back, close the arms, step, chest turn slightly to the front, open the chest to the right, ward off right, and release. Yes. So Rogelio, one thing that, yeah, armpit open, your right armpit, make sure there's a little bit of space. Got it. Yep. Very good. So we're good with that. And so any questions about this one? Nope. Good. So let's talk about snake creeps down. Let's just do it together a few times. So normally if you're doing it, you'd be going in this direction. I'm just going to turn around so you can see me better. So we start in single whip, having remembered to do cloud hands. So check first that in the single whip posture, your torso is upright, that you're not leaning this way. So torso nice and upright, hips level. So yielding forward a little bit, with the left hand open the right toe. Shift weight back, left hand comes in. Sinking down, left hand goes down. Torso forward, left hand down the leg. And again, that's looking good from what I can see. So again, from single whip, yield forward, open the right toe. Go back, hand in, sink down, hand down, lean towards the foot, hand down the side. Okay, let me just watch you do that and just see, because I think we're good on this one. So I have a couple of suggestions, a couple of observations. One is when I say yield forward, I don't mean bend the front knee. I just mean move your torso a little bit so that you've got a little bit easier to release the weight. Don't bend your knee and go forward. You don't even have to really yield your torso. You've only got 40% on the back foot, so you should be able to open that back heel without bending your front toe, without bending the left knee. Right. Then, so let's just see. Yep. Right. Now, the next thing I want to remind you of, and this always gets confusing, and it doesn't really matter ultimately, but the end of the posture is here. So this is the end of snake creeps down. This up movement is the beginning of the next posture, is the beginning of the next movement. So here is where you have your slight pause, and then you go into the next movement, which today will be golden rooster. The thing that I didn't mention last week, I should have done, is what's new, in terms of methods that we're learning, is this is the first time, and in fact, we'll do it again later on in the third section, we do this stance, which is called poo boo, poo boo. So boo is just step, like, ma boo is horse stance. So boo is just stance. The word poo has two meanings. One is it means a servant, and the other means prostrate, in other words, lying flat. And Master Young translates it as swooping down like an eagle. So, what you have to imagine, and that's where the old Chinese description of this as, the snake move is, you're going down here. So you're actually going down, from up to down. What I'd like you to, we'll practice it a couple of more times, is to think about the snake-like movement, because I'm doing this. So this is yielding and then down, yielding and down, snake movement, here. And you can see that I'm moving my chest, but I'm moving my chest in this plane. I'm not moving my chest this way because I don't have support here. I've only got support where my feet are. So when you do the snake movement, move in the plane of your front foot. Okay, let's practice that a couple of times. This is looking good. So we've done single whip. Snake creeps down, yield forward slightly, open the back foot. Going back, hand comes in, sink down slightly, torso forward, hand goes down. And stop, reset, single whip, shift weight forward, open the back foot, coming back, shift weight back, now shift weight down, and shift weight forward. The next thing I want you to do, we'll practice it 2 more times, is I want you to check when we're here that your knee and toe are in a line, because there's always a temptation as we go down to have this collapse thing happening. The way I want you to check, but you can look if you want, is not to look. What I want you to do is when we get to this, having moved our weight back, I want you to feel the inside and the outside of your right foot and feel where the pressure is. If you've got pressure on the inside of your foot and not on the outside, your knee has come in. So that's a way of knowing whether your knee and toe is in a line without looking. So what you're aiming for is to have even pressure left and right on the foot. So let's do that. We're in a bow stance. Single whip. Snake creeps down, yield forward, open the back foot, shift weight back, just check. Yep, are you good? Sink down. Okay, and come forward. Feel the sole of your foot. And release. Okay, let's do that again. So we're in single whip. Shift weight forward, open the back foot. Go shift your weight back, shift your weight down, shift your weight forward. Check the inside and outside of your right foot, the sole. And stop. Come on up. Okay. Any questions about that? I think we're in pretty good shape. So let's move on. Now, as you know, because you all know the form, there are lots and lots and lots of repeats in the third section. What we're going to do now, Golden Rooster. After Golden Rooster, there's a long sequence of repeats. Step back, repulse monkey, diagonal flying, white crane, brush knee, needle, fan through the back, and then there's a turn body chop with fist, which in fact is slightly modified. Then parry, block, and punch. So all those things we'll practice before the end of the class, but I'm not going to review any of those unless you ask. And if you ask, by all means, we'll review it. Okay. So, Golden Rooster. I've done snake creeps down. Let me just talk about or show Golden Rooster. So from here, I'm down. 1, shift forward weight, close the right foot. So I'm back at single whip. 2, open the left foot, grab with the right hand. 3, shift weight forward, get the right hand into a lifting position. 4, stand up into one leg stance. So what we're doing, and unfortunately Susan isn't here, so she can't help me with the demos, but we did talk about this last week. What we're learning here, or in terms of methods, there's really nothing new here. We're just standing up on one leg. In terms of martial arts techniques, there is a new one. So this technique, let's say if somebody grabs me, I come down, I stand up, I'm kneeing them in the face or in the chest. So this is actually a new technique, martial art technique in the inventory, which is using the knee as a weapon. in the way we categorize the techniques. In fact, the category is T, which is a kick. So this is actually a kick with your knee, not a kick with your foot, but that's how we categorize it. So let's just review the footwork together. So if we're going in the same direction, so what we're going to do, so we're down in snake creeps down. Shift weight forward, bring the back foot in. Shift weight back slightly, open the left toe to the corner. Now stand up. On the left foot, looking to the side, you're in the standard knee up position. So that's the footwork. Let's do it again from snake creeps down. So snake creeps down, right toe is open. Shift weight forward, bring the right toe in. So I'm back to my bow stance. Shift weight back slightly, with body turning, using your hips, open the left toe. Your chest is now roughly to square. Using the turning of your chest, bring the right leg up. Let me talk about the body turning. We'll get to the hands. One of the things that makes this a challenging movement is in the whole form. This is going from the lowest position we are in the form to the highest position. So vertically, we cover more ground here than we do in any other movement. So we're going from down to up. So that's what makes this one difficult. And so the question is, how do we help ourselves do that? So one of the things that I want you to pay attention to is, so I'm here, I come forward. Now I'm going to use, you can see watch this hip. You can see this hip is ahead of this hip. When I'm standing up, they're roughly at the same position. So I've actually moved my hip forward. And this movement of the hip from this direction to this direction helps me to come up. Now, it's always the waist, in other words, this part of the body that drives these movements, and you can see that in the chest. So now I'm just going to show you in this direction. When I'm in snake creeps down, my chest is open to that corner. I'm going to come up, open the toe, and stand up. And now you can see my chest is open to that corner. My chest has turned through more than 90 degrees. And it's actually that chest turn that helps pull this leg up. One of the easy ways to make life difficult for yourself is from here. I'll do it this way. From here, coming up, turn your chest to square, and then don't turn it anymore, and just keep your chest square. So what I want you to do is, as you come up, open your chest here. Don't keep it like this. Open it. That'll help you bring everything through. So let's again, you can use your arms in front of your body if you want, without thinking about the arm movements yet. Let's just practice the footwork and the body movement. So we're in snake creeps down, back foot open, sinking down. So we're here. Shift weight forward, bring the back foot up. Chest is now open more than corner. With body turning, open the front toe. Come forward, stand up. Your chest should now be to the other corner. Let's do that again. Snake creeps down. We're here. Shift weight forward. Close the back foot. Open the left toe. With body turning, lift the leg. Again. We're in snake creeps down. Here. Shift weight forward. Close the back foot. With body turning. So your chest is going from the corner to square. Open the front foot. Shift forward. Keep turning the chest as the leg comes up. And again. Snake creeps down. Shift weight forward. Close the right toe. Now, With body turning, open the left toe. Your chest is beginning to turn. Keep turning the chest as you lift the leg. Okay, now we're going to add the arm movements. Before I do that, any questions? Okay, arm movements. What we're going to do is we're going to, so the right hand is starting in a hook. It's going to come down and it's going to sit here in front of your right leg, and it's going to be in this sitting position, by which I mean not like this or like this, but here. There's this angle here. And what you're going to imagine is you've got somebody's arm that you're lifting. So it's going to come from the hook and sit in front of the right thigh, and then it's going to lift up. So this is this swooping movement. And what and the reason why I'm belaboring this, it's very easy to essentially release your hook and the hand just wanders through here, and at the end you go, oh, I need to sit, and then sit it at the end. It doesn't sit here, it sits all the way from the bottom up to the top. The left hand, so you know, I start left hand, I'm doing this essentially, doing the strike. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do a grab, so I'm grabbing, so as my body turns, my palm goes into a grab. Then it's going to come from, as my chest turns, my arm, my elbow will bend a little bit, but mostly it's just coming down and pressing down. So I go from strike, grab, press down as I stand up. The way to think about this in martial arts terms, I've already talked about the knee, so you're striking, let's say, the chest, but you could also go for the head. So if you imagine this left hand is actually grabbing somebody behind their head or behind their shoulder, and as you stand up, you're pulling them down into your knee. So that's what this hand is doing. Now we end up to, as we show the form, in the usual position here, but really that's what it's doing. It's pulling down. This hand that's doing the lifting is, it's somebody is punching towards you and you're just getting your arm under their arm and just lifting it up and out of the way. So this arm is going up as this arm is coming down. Let's practice that a few times and then I'll add one more thing to it. So we're starting in single whip with arm movements. So we're in single whip. Shift weight, in single whip, we're here, sorry. So shift weight forward, bring the right foot in, left hand comes up. So your left hand is now just up, you're in the strike position. With body turning, open the left foot, left hand goes into this grab position. Your right hand hasn't changed. Shift your weight forward, sit the right hand in front of the right leg, stand up. One arm up, one arm down. From this direction, single whip. Ending posture, shift weight forward, left hand up. Open the left toe, grab with the left hand. Shift weight forward, left hand in front of the leg, one arm up, one arm down. And when you finish, what I'd like you to think about is your fingertips are pointing vertically upwards. So not like this, lifting, because you're actually showing a lift here. And the tiger's mouth is sort of, you know, in this forward direction. Yeah, that looks good, Rogelio. It's sort of sitting like this and lifting. In terms of the two arms, I want you to think about a rope with two weights on it around a pulley. So a pulley, right? So you've got this wheel, and you've got one, the rope goes up and then the rope comes down the other side, and you've got two weights. One weight goes up, the other one goes down because of the rope around the pulley. And so the weights go, one goes up, one goes down around the top of the pulley here. The same thing here with these arms. As the lower hand comes up, the upper hand comes down. So coordinate the up and down, one hand up, one hand down at the same time. and then you're sitting when you finished, fingertips pointing forward, just like in all, for example, brush knee, fingertips pointing straight forward. Let's do that. Okay, so we're at the end of snake creeps down. Shift weight forward, left hand lifts, close the right toe. Open the left toe, left hand opens. Shift forward, sit the right in front of the right thigh, one hand up, one hand down. You can, if I try and talk about it, it actually takes longer. So do it on your own pace. Let's try it again. So at the end of snake creeps down, shift forward, close the back foot, open the front foot, grab, shift forward, sit the right hand, one hand up, one hand down. Check that your right fingertips are pointing up vertically. Okay, stop. So Rogelio, one of the things that I'm seeing, and I know the camera is quite high, it looks as if your palm angle is like this rather than like this. Yeah, so if you could bend your wrist a little bit so that it's good. So why don't you just do that on your own time a few times and I'll watch. So the one thing I just want to rehearse a couple of times is the coordination of the upper and the lower, particularly after we've come up. So we've come up to single whip. We're going to open the left foot and grab with the left hand. So yeah. So let's just say we're in snake creeps down, coming up to here. So you're in the single whip position. Now open the left toe and grab with the left hand. Now shift your weight forward, standing up. So yeah, so Laura, I want you to make clear that there are two parts to it. One is open and grab. So there's this, and then there's this. So from snake creeps down, shift forward, close the back foot, open the left, grab with the left, shift forward, weight, one arm up, one arm down. Yes. And that's good. Yep. And so again, we as always, we've got this Goldilocks position. You just see what works for you. We don't want the hand close here, but we don't want it out so far that we can't sit it properly. So it's probably, you know, when you look at it, your hand is probably about there outside your knee. It's like 6 inches or so. The front of your hand is beyond the front of your knee, and it's sitting up. Yeah, that looks good, Laura. Like that, yeah. And make sure, as a reminder for all of us, is that we have the toes down when we have the leg up. Toe down and shin turned in slightly. Yes, nice.
So the right hand comes from this position, just it changes to the tiger's mouth shape here, but
yes.
It doesn't stop, right? It's a continuous movement.
It's a just continuous movement.
Dropping the hook and getting into tiger's mouth and coming out.
Yes, yes, exactly right. Yeah, so it's a circular movement.
Thank you.
And since you know this is you know, a trailer for what we're going to do later, but you know, you may all be practicing the whole form. Remember that the arm movement is different. The other movement when we come out of single whip, you remember, is step up 7 stars, and there the left arm follows. Actually, I should be doing it here. Follows a different path. So from here, it comes up. I open to here. It's the same. It drops and it comes to here, and then you go into step up 7 stars. That's a different path. So with 7 stars, it comes to the bottom of the ribs and strikes up. With golden rooster, it comes down to in front of the thigh and then lifts up. two different movements. Bear that in mind. Okay, let's do golden rooster on the other side. This is the easier one because there's much less going on. So let's just start with snake reaps down and work our way through. So snake reaps down, ending posture. Shift forward weight, open. Circle down, stand up. Sink, step behind you, right hand goes out. With waist turning, pivot. One arm up, one arm down. So the footwork is very straightforward. In fact, it's a bit like step back repulse monkey, right? So in terms of method, this is not new footwork. We're just going backwards. We're going backwards from a one-legged stance, okay? But what makes it easier is that with step back repulse monkey, you're stepping back. Let's say you're here. You're stepping back quite far so that you've got a good pull on your opponent. Here, you're not going in this direction. Golden rooster is up and down, right? You're kicking and striking and all these kinds of things. So when you're in this posture, you just come down to here. You don't have to step back. You just come down to here, center line two sides, pivot on the heel, stand up. So let's just practice that together. So we're standing on the left leg. Sink, step behind you, center line two sides, pivot on the left heel, so the left foot is now forward, standing up. That's all we're doing. Yep. The next thing is the arm movements, and again here I want you to think about the body movement. So let's do it on this side. So this is golden rooster 1. Sink, step. As I step down with the back, I'm essentially putting out my right hand. Left hand doesn't change. As I shift back my weight, body turns, you can see my left hand goes from being flat to sitting. This is this lifting position that we had on the other side with the previous one. And I want you to also observe the right hand. So when we are here, so sink, step, I'm essentially with body turning, my elbow bends slightly, but most of the movement of my hand is because my chest is turning. I'm not doing this. I'm doing this with body turning. And then one hand up, one hand down. Yeah. Good. Let's practice those. Let's practice from golden rooster left to golden rooster right. So we're standing on the left leg. The right hand is doing the lifting. Sink, step behind you, right hand goes out. Shifting weight back, pivot on the left heel. The left hand sits, the right hand comes in. Now you're ready. Stand up, one hand down. Looking forward over the tiger's mouth. And again, we've done golden rooster right. 1, sink, step, right hand out. 2, with body turning, pivot the left heel, sit the left hand, right hand comes in. 3, push down and lift up. Golden rooster left ending posture. Sink, step, with body turning, sit the left, bring in the right, standing up, left up, right down. Again, we are in golden rooster left. Sink, step, center line two sides. With body turning, one hand comes back, the other one sits. One hand up, one hand down. And the fingertips are about, face height. Your hand is about face height. Yep, that looks good. That looks good. Let's just practice a few more times. So we've done golden rooster left. Let me try and line up with the camera. So sink, step, center line, two sides, pivot, lift and push. Again, from the left, sink, step, left, right arm goes out, circle, push up and down. Okay, just keep doing that. Just keep doing that. And again. Okay, and stop when you finish. So the thing that I want to underline and remind you of is the body turn and arm movement coordination. So I think let's try this position here. So the first thing that happens is when I step back, I flatten my right hand. So my right hand goes from this to this. So that's the first thing that, and the left doesn't change. So as I sit, step, my palm, imagine your palms resting on your opponent's shoulder. You're going to pull them. 2, pull them towards you with body turning. So there's this pull movement, and while you're pulling, the left hand changes from palm down to sitting. Then when you're in this position, having pulled, you go up and down. So we're going to practice this a few times, and I'm going to go quite slowly because I want to make sure you have clear in your mind the different freeze frames. So we're in the left golden rooster ending posture. Sink, step, right palm down. Now shifting back weight, pull the right hand and sit the left hand. You haven't done anything. So the left hand is now sitting in a ready to lift. Yes. Now lift and press down. Nope. That way. Yes. Very good catch. Okay, let's try that again. We're standing on the left leg. Sink, step, right arm down, palm down. Shifting weight back, pull the right back, sit the left. Now the left is going to lift, the right is going to press down. Okay, again, standing on the left. Sink, step, right palm down. Pivot on the heel, body turn, pull and sit the left hand. Yeah, so Laura, yeah, it may be a camera thing, but your palm is about shoulder height. Your right palm is about shoulder height, not too high. Yep. Now just press down and lift up. Okay. And I should turn my toe in. I'm being sloppy. Okay. How's that? It's looking pretty good to me. Let's do... actually, I want to add the golden rooster so that we can do this little sequence. Add the step back repulse monkey. So we've done golden rooster, and from golden rooster we're going to go into step back repulse monkey. So let's just review how that would go. So we're standing on the right leg, we're lifting with the left. So what's going to happen is I'm just going to step back, toe touch, repulse monkey. So let's go through this step by step. Yeah, that should work. So I'm on my right leg, lifting with the left. Sink, step, rotate the left palm up, right palm out, toe touch, arm out, foot flat, right arm to the shoulder. Now pulling back with the left, pivot on the right heel, strike. That's your step back repulse monkey. Let's just go back into standing on the right leg. We're lifting with the left hand. Yep. Very good. So step back, rotate the left arm, right arm swings out, toe touch, foot flat, arm in, pivot, strike. Again, shift forward onto the right leg, left leg up, left arm up. Yeah. So sink and circle, come in and strike. And I'll do it in this direction one more time. I think we're looking good. So from here, sink and step, toe touch, arm out, foot flat, arm in, pivot on the heel, pull and strike. And our ending posture, the right hand is striking, the left hand is down by the fold of the leg. Yes, good correction, Lorraine. Yep, that's right. And remember, I think everybody's good. Keep your shoulder absorbed, keep your chest absorbed. So make sure that your elbow isn't back here, your elbow is slightly sinking, so it's sort of almost diagonal here. It's not facing straight forward. Let's do that one more time. Standing on the right foot. Rogelio, you had a question? Okay, so we're standing on the right leg, left hand up, sink, circle behind you, close in, pull and strike. Yes. Again, standing up, standing on the right leg, left hand up, sink, circle out, foot flat, strike. Yes, very good. And now we're going to practice from the end of snake creeps down, the 2 golden roosters and the step back and repulse monkey. There's a lot going on here. The first thing that I want you to think about is just the footwork, and remember when we go from the golden rooster left to right, that's a short step. When we go from golden rooster right to repulse monkey, it's a long step. That's the difference between the rooster and the monkey. Okay, snake creeps down, ending posture. Yep, so yeah. Golden rooster 1, shift weight forward, close the back foot, opening the left toe, grab with the left hand, shift forward, sit the right hand, lift with the right, press down with the left. Number 2, sink, step behind you, flatten the palm, pull, rotate the left hand, ready to sit, stand up. Repulse monkey, sink, rotating the left hand and swinging out the right arm, close to the shoulder, foot flat, pull and strike. This is repulse monkey. Again, snake creeps down, ending posture. Shift weight forward, open the left toe. Now use your body turning to bring the hand up. Number 2, sink, short step behind you, with body turning, pivot on the left heel, right arm comes in, sit the left, left goes up, right goes down. Step back, repulse monkey, sink, rotate the left arm, swing out the right, foot flat, arm in. Now pull and strike. Okay. One more time. Ending posture, snake creeps down. Shift weight forward. Up. Okay, ready? Shift weight forward, come on up. With body turning, open the left toe. Keep turning that body to the other corner as you lift up. Golden rooster. Number 2, sink, step. With body turning, right hand comes in, sit the left. Now one arm up, one arm down. Check that your chest is open to the other corner. Repulse monkey. Sink, step, arm in, pull and strike. Okay. Any questions? So just to review the key points of what we did today, with Golden Rooster. So this is from down to up, and what I want you to really use is use the body turning to bring yourself up, and remember to sit the right hand here at the bottom so that it's already seated when it goes up. Then a short step behind you for number 2 and a long step for a pulse monkey. Let us practice from the single whip at the end of the cloud hands that I didn't do. We'll do snake creeps down, the 2 golden roosters, and repulse monkey, and let's just keep going from there. Well, just keep going, and I'll just call the movements. You know the movements. Okay, we're in single whip. Snake creeps down, yield forward, open the back toe, shift weight back, hand in, sink down, hand down, sink, hand down the leg. Golden rooster, shift forward, close the back foot. Open the front foot, get the left hand ready, right hand lifts, left hand pushes down. Number 2, sink, step behind you, right palm down, pivot on the left heel, set the left hand, press down, come up. Repulse monkey 1, circle, touch, arm in, strike, 2 more. Number 2, number 3, diagonal flying, raise hands, step forward, it's all repeat movements. White crane, spreads its wings, left brush knee, needle at C bottom, fan through the back. Now turn body white snake spits out its tongue, which is essentially turn body chop, but just open your fist at the end. Step forward, parry, block and punch. Step up, grasp bird's tail, ward off right, roll back, press, push, single whip. And stop. So that takes us to the end of the second chunk. So the second chunk is the one that starts with cloud hands, snake creeps down, golden rooster, and ends here. We'll do the third chunk next week, which is the one that starts with cloud hands, high pat on horse, thrust palm. So next week we'll just do that chunk. There's really nothing new in there, and we'll see how we go. Any questions before we finish? Yes.
Here, the snake spits out its tongue. You open the fist, and when you do the
chop with fist,
you keep going to the block, parry, and punch without never opening the fist. So here you have to close it again.
Yes.
At which point you close it again.
Yeah. So you're here at the end of let's try it here. So you've done turn body, white snakes spits out its tongue, and then as you rotate it up you make a fist. Then you do, so you essentially come up to here, and then as you come down for your parry, block and punch, This is the fist. The parry block and punch is the fist, so fist by then. Okay, good. Let us finish there. If there aren't any other questions, I don't see any. Okay. 同学们，再见。
老师再见。
再见。